Yes, I'm going down to the welcome table. Yes, I'm going down to the welcome table. Yes, I'm going down to the welcome table. For my work most done. In the Lord, in the Lord. My soul's been anchored and I'm anchored in the Lord. In the Lord, in the Lord. My soul's been anchored in the Lord. In the Lord, in the Lord. My soul's been anchored and I'm anchored in the Lord. In the Lord, in the Lord. My soul's been anchored in the Lord.
My hope is built on nothing less.
My soul's been anchored and I'm anchored in the Lord.
In Yahshua's blood and righteousness.
My soul's been anchored and I'm anchored in the Lord.
I dare not trust the sweetest frame.
My soul's been anchored and I'm anchored in the Lord.
But wholly leans on Yahshua's name.
My soul's been anchored in the Lord. My soul's been anchored in Yahshua. My soul's been anchored in Yahshua. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Lord. If you don't mind out, he'll conjure you. If I could, I surely would. Just stand on the rock where Moses stood. Rock in Elijah Rock, shout, shout. Elijah, Elijah, Elijah Rock, we're gonna shout, shout. Elijah Rock coming up, Elijah Rock coming up, Elijah Rock coming up, Lord.
Israel was in Egypt's land. My people go oppressed so hard.
Yahweh who told Moshe just what to do. Let my people go, yeah, to lead the children of Israel through. Let my people go down Moshe, go down Moshe. Moshe, go down, down to, go down land. Won't you tell, oh, tell Pharaoh, just to
Let my people go.
Oh, come along, Moshe, you'll not get lost. Let my people go. So stretch out your rod and come across. Let my people say, go down Moshe, go down Moshe, way down in Egypt. Better tell him, tell him.
Let my people go. Let my people.
Let my people,
Let my people.
let my people, let my people go. Oh, Pharaoh, let
My
you
people.
better let my people.
My people.
You're gonna be plagued.
My people.
Yeah.
Please, Pharaoh, let 'em go.
Of the church, and invite him who stands at the door that he may come in and sup with us and us with him, that we may continue to read out of this great legacy and consider what we read, because herein are the issues of life.
I'm going to start at 1 Peter 4th chapter, 7 through 11th verse. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins.
Amen.
Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man hath received a gift, even so minister the same to another, as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. And if any man speak, let him speak as to the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim giveth, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Anointed One, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Ephesians 4th chapter, 29th through 5th chapter, 1st to 4th verse. Let no corrupt communications proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, by whom you are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for the Anointed One's sake, have forgiven you.
Amen.
Be you therefore followers of Elohim as dear children, and walk in love as the Anointed One also have loved us, and have given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor.
Praise Yah.
But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becometh saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks.
Praise Yah.
Revelation, 3rd chapter, 20th through the 22nd verse. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame, and am set down with my Father in his throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the church.
Amen. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church and holy convention. There, Isaiah 59, and pick that up at verse 12, my brother. Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 12. Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 12.
For our transgressions are multiplied before you, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them.
We don't admit them, but we know them. See, we think we got them shut up in your mind, right? But the Spirit reveals the hidden things of man. Go ahead and read, brother.
In transgressing and lying against Yahweh, and departing away from our Elohim, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood, and judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him. For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and a helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put on the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense. So shall they fear the name of Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of Yahweh shall lift up a standard against it.
Amen.
And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, saith Yahweh. As for me, this is my covenant with them, saith Yahweh. My Spirit that is upon you, and my words which I have put in your mouth shall not depart out of your mouth, nor out of the mouth of your seed, nor out of the mouth of your seed, saith Yahweh, from henceforth and forevermore.
Amen.
Arise, shine.
Hold up, brother.
All right.
We read chapter 16, verse 1.
Arise, shine, for your light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon you. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
And the Spirit is going to be dwelling in those thick darkness, right? But gross darkness is going to cover the people, because the people ain't going to know what's going on. Go ahead, brother.
But Yahweh shall arise upon you, and his glory shall be seen upon you. And the Europeans shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to you. Your sons shall come from far, and your daughters shall be nursed at your side. Then you shall see and flow together, and your heart shall fear and be enlarged. Because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto you, the forces of the Europeans shall come unto you. The multitude of camels shall cover you, The dromedaries of Median and Ephah, and all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto you. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto you. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory.
Praise Yah.
Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the owl shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh thy Elohim, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he have glorified
Didn't
you.
he say the daughter of Babylon, he's going to open up her storehouses and she's going to be robbed? Huh? Now, look what happened when we came out of Egypt. He told us, say, look, you borrow of the Egyptians jewels of gold and jewels of silver, right? And the scripture say we did what? We spoiled the Egyptians. And the same thing going to happen when we leave here. We're going to spoil this country because all of her treasure houses is going to be open. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up your walls.
You ain't going to do this now. The sons of the strangers going to build your walls, right?
And their king shall minister unto you. For in my wrath I smote you, but in my favor have I had mercy on you. Therefore your gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto you the forces of the Europeans, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve you shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Amen and amen. Now what we see here is that redemption is in two aspects. Number one, redemption from the law of sin and death, which was governed by the animal sacrifice, which reminds of sin. And number two, redemption in power, which is the guidance of the Spirit in the works of NCCI toward salvation. The problem lies in man's vanity towards self-will and self-righteousness. Why? Because man is not afraid of the power and misunderstands the reason that it was given. This is why the instructions want us to put those who are unruly from among the saints, and that without respect to person. Let's go back to the book of Romans, Romans 8, and pick that up, my brother, pick that up at verse 14. Romans 8, pick that up at verse 14.
For as many as are led by the Spirit of Elohim, they are the sons of Elohim. For you have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father.
This is why I've never had any problem with teaching the Word of God. This is why I've always joyed in teaching the Word of our Elohim, simply because I know that the words that I teach and the progress that we made, that NCCI made, these things are led by the Spirit of the true and living God. And it's awesome to see Yahweh set things up. You see, this is why we have to wait until the Spirit moves, and when the Spirit moves, follow the works of the Spirit. But if you don't know what has been prayed for, then how do you know what to follow? See, Yahweh listen to his saints. When I tell you one thing, have we ever really wanted, needed anything that he hasn't provided? Okay. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of Elohim.
Amen.
And if children, then heirs. Heirs of Elohim, and joint heirs with the Anointed One. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
And how do we suffer? Through doing the works that we assigned to do. I mean, Yahweh gave us a job here in Atlanta to do, and we got to do that job. When I came here, I had an agenda. And guess what? It's right on target. Folks done tried to change it. Folks want to jump in the next year. No. Don't jump in the next year. Now, we got to do this. We got to work this here, and then we got to go over here and work that there first, because this got to be done. These are my instructions. This got to be done, and then we're going to go do that. Well, I think you ought to just go ahead and do it. You go do it. You go do it. I got something else to do. Yeah, go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Mm-hmm.
For the earnest expectation of the creatures waited for the manifestation of the sons of Elohim.
For the earnest expectations of the creature waited for what? The manifestations of the sons of the true and living God, right? Okay, let's go and see. Let's go into Hosea chapter 1, and we're going to read verse 1 through chapter 2. Hosea 1 and verse 1 through chapter 2. Hosea is one of the small prophets behind Joel, I think it is. I'm not sure. Daniel? Yeah, right, behind Daniel in front of Joel. I'm sorry. Thank you there, my brother. Hosea chapter 1, Hosea chapter 1, and pick that up at verse 1, and we're going to read up through chapter 2.
The word of Yahweh that came unto Hosea the son of Beri in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Yehudah, in the days of Jeroboam the son of Joash, king of Israel.
Now, what you might want to do, you might want to get back into Kings, in 2 Kings. You might want to get back in 2 Kings and pick it up around chapter 10 and see what was going on in the land and what our people is off into. Then you can understand why this prophecy here was sent. See? Now, the thing is not just understanding prophecy. The thing is understanding why certain prophecies was given. Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 2. The beginning of the word of Yahweh by Hosea. And Yahweh said to Hosea, Go, take unto you a wife of whoredoms and children of whoredoms.
Right, go marry you a hoe. Right? And this brother here, now he's a prophet. See, he's a holy man. And y'all, his angel told him, say, go marry you a hoe. Let this brother say, you marry a what? Go ahead, brother.
For the land hath committed great whoredoms, departing from Yahweh.
Because all of Israel are whores. That's what he's saying, ain't he? Go ahead, brother.
So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, which conceived and bare him a son. And Yahweh said unto him, Call his name Jezreel.
Another name for Israel. Go ahead.
For yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Jezreel upon the house of Jehu, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the house of Israel. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel.
Mm-hmm.
And she conceived again, and bare a daughter. And Elohim said unto him, Call her name Lo-Ruhama. Lo-Ruhama.
Mm-hmm.
For I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away.
2 Kings, and you pick that up in 2 Kings 17, 2 Kings 17 chapter, in 721 B.C. when Shalmaneser came in and invaded northern Israel. So go ahead and read, brother.
But I will have mercy upon the house of Yehudah, and will save them by Yahweh their Elohim, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen.
Right, I'm going to have mercy upon the house of Judah, but how am I going to save them? I'm going to save them by the blood of Christ. Go ahead and read, brother.
Now when she had weaned Lo-Ruhama, she conceived and bare a son. Then said Elohim, Call his name Lo-Ammi, for you are not my people, and I will not be your Elohim.
He's talking to our mother, old covenant Israel, right? He said, you are not my people, and I'm not going to be your Elohim. Everybody know you ain't my people. Look how you walking. Go ahead, brother.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, You are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, You are the sons of the living Elohim.
I'm getting rid of y'all mama, you see, but in the place where it was said unto them, You are not my people, there's going to be said that you are the children of the living God. That was said in Israel. Go ahead, brother.
Then shall the children of Yehudah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Then shall the children of Israel appoint them what? One head. And they're going to come up out of the land and take the holy city of Zion, and that's what's going to prompt the Messiah to come. Go ahead and read, brother.
Chapter 2. Say you unto your brethren Ammi, and to your sister Ruhamah, plead with your mother. Plead, for she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredom out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breasts. Lest I strip her naked, and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredom. For their mother hath played the harlot. She that conceived them hath done shamefully. For she said, I will go after my lovers that give me my bread and my water, my wool and my flax, mine oil and my
I'm
drink.
going after Mr. Johnson. I'm going to hedge up your way with thorns and make a wall, and you shall not find your path. In other words, you're going to be slain. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 7. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them.
Right, because the lover's going to get rid of you when they get ready to. Go ahead, brother.
And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then it was better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her. And now will I discover her lewdness.
Now she's going to be lewd in the sight of all of her enemies round about. Go ahead, brother.
In the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of mine hand. I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbath, and all her solemn. And I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she hath said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. And I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them, and she decked herself with earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers, and forgot me, saith Yahweh.
In other words, I'm going to make her serve pagan gods again, right? That's why I tell y'all need to watch yourself. See, a lot of folks think they're serving God and serving themselves of God. And you know them by their fruit. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They want to half do this. They want to get in here and start doing this and say, well, I'm tired of that. I'll do something else. Right. Go ahead and read that.
What part of Israel play in that in reality in the movie? Because we know David is raised up. Would Israel's people have part in that in reality, or that's not?
Sure. Judah didn't have but one tribe that was given to it. That was Benjamin. Right? Well, Levi's over here too. Levi came out. Levi was considered the house of Israel then one. Okay. So it's not just Judah that's going to be out in the wilderness. It's Benjamin, Judah, and Levi going to be out in the wilderness, of who the nations classified all of us as Jews. You see, just like they call us all, you say, well, I'm an African American. The other one say, well, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. The other one over say, well, I'm an Ishmaelite. Them Europeans say, all y'all niggas. See? So when it said the children of Israel is going to appoint them one head, we are, regardless of which houses we came from, we still the children of Israel. It's going to be one person that's going to lead that army, brother. Armies do not go into battle with a whole lot of rulers.
Right. So I guess the question I'm asking you said Israel is going to gather together, appoint them one head.
Come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel.
Okay, so I guess my question is, where does David fit into this?
He's going to be raised up in the wilderness. He's going to be the one that's going to lead the battle into the city.
So that's the one that he's going to appoint.
Right. That's what they're going to do. They're going to appoint David, and David is the one that's going to lead the battle into the city of David. Called the city of David, ain't it? Okay. It's only right that David take it back. Okay. See, a lot of things we think, well, man, them folks dead, you know. In the New Testament, we saw Elijah and Moses, didn't we? God is not the God of the dead. He's God of the living. The man is going to come and sit in the kingdom with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know. So, those. Well, yeah. And see, if some of them were. See, it's in order. Remember when the Messiah was resurrected from the dead, after his resurrection, many dead bodies was resurrected and went back into the city, right? That was under the old order thing. The resurrection now is going to be for those who weren't resurrected from Genesis down through that time, and for the new people that come under the blood of the Messiah. This is why he had 4 and 20 elders that were sitting in heaven, right? But then, in that new city, Jerusalem, yeah, something special about that. You might want to do some research on it. Yeah. Right, so he's going to be there anyway. Right. So did Elijah. Right. I know. So were Moses. Right. I know all about that, brother. Yeah. Where we at, man?
Verse 14.
Okay.
Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her her vineyards from there and the valley of Achor for a door to hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
And we did go into Israel when we went into Israel. Wasn't it through the valley of Achor that we went into? Go ahead, brother.
And it shall be at that day, saith Yahweh, that you shall call me Ishai, and shall call me no more Baal.
Right, you're going to call me husband, and no more my Lord. Go ahead, brother.
For I will take away the names of my Lord out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their names. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground, and I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth you unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth you unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercy. I will even betroth you unto me in faithfulness, and you shall know Yahweh. Mm-hmm. And it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith Yahweh, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. And the earth shall hear the corn, and the wine, and the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel.
And they all going to hear Israel. Go ahead, brother.
And I will sow her unto me in the earth.
I'm going to take Israel and sow him. Now, we know that Zechariah, he said Israel here, but we know that Zechariah said the house of Judah is going to be sold into the earth. But it's still part of the house of Israel. Go ahead, brother.
And I will have mercy upon her that had not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which were not my people, you are my people. And they shall say, you are my Elohim.
Right, in the place where it was said unto them that you are not my people, there in the land of Israel shall it be said that you are the sons and the daughters of the true and living God. Go ahead, let's go back to Romans and pick that up at Romans, where was that, Romans 8?
Yes.
And pick that up, my brother, at verse 20. Romans 8, verse 20.
Elder, in this last verse, it says, we're talking about the whole house of Israel here, right?
Yeah. The earnest, the earnest, and then that's why it said the earnest expectation of the creature is waiting for the manifestations of the sons of God. So he's talking about all the 12 tribes. Okay. Go ahead, brother.
Romans chapter 8, verse 20. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope.
Right. The creature, the whole creation, was made subject to man's vanity, not because it was the will of the creation, but by the reason of who? Of Yahweh himself, who subjected man, gave man his hope, right? Go ahead, brother.
Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption, into the glorious liberty of the children of Elohim.
Now, that don't mean the creature is going to be spiritual. what that means is that it's going to be delivered from the bondage of the sins of men. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 22. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
Amen.
Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought. For the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the heart knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of Elohim.
Okay, my brother, hold your place right here. Let's go and back that up. Let's go in Galatians 3 and verse, we're going to pick that up at verse 21. Galatians chapter 3, and I think we're going to pick that up. Let me get there, I'll find out. Galatians chapter 3, and pick that up, my brother, at verse 21.
Galatians chapter 3, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
Is the law then against the promises of Elohim? Elohim forbid. For if there had been for if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law.
Let me show you how important the law is, don't it? Go ahead, brother.
But the Scripture have concluded all under sin, that the promise by faith of Yahshua the Anointed One might be given to them that believe. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster, to bring us unto the Anointed One, that we might be justified by faith.
By faith in what? Faith that in the fact that the Lamb's blood, you come under the blood, the Lamb's blood will cover your sins, right? Go ahead, brother.
But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a school.
Right, we don't have to make those sacrifices no more if we after faith has come, right? Go ahead, brother.
For you are all the children of Elohim by faith in the Anointed One Yahshua. For as many of you as have been baptized into the Anointed One have put on the Anointed One. There is neither Jew nor European, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for you are all one in the Anointed One Yahshua.
You are the body of the Messiah. You all one. Go ahead, brother. And we're going to show there's a difference in things. And we're going to deal with that. Go ahead, brother.
And if you be the Anointed Ones, then are you Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise.
Mm-hmm.
Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, deferreth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors unto the time appointed of the Father. Even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, Elohim sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And because you are sons, Elohim has sent forth the Spirit of his Son into your heart, crying, Abba, Father. Wherefore thou art no more a servant, but a son. And if a son, then as an heir of Elohim, through the Anointed One.
Okay, he says, and because you are sons, Elohim has sent forth the Spirit of his Son into your hearts, crying, Abba, Father.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore you are no more a servant, but a son. And if a son, then an heir of God through Yahshua HaMashiach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, surely the nations are the sons of Adam naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And those under the blood are the adopted sons of Abraham.
Mm.
Therefore are their heirs according to the promise that in Abraham's seed should all the nations of the earth be blessed. You can be blessed with a postcard.
Mm.
But let's go and see. Let's go and read. I'm going to go and read a couple of pieces of scripture here. Let's go and what we're going to do. We're going to show the difference between these sons. Jeremiah 2, and pick that up at verse 1 through verse 3, my brother. Jeremiah chapter 2, and read verse 1 through verse 3. See, folks talking about it don't make a difference. We're going to see. Jeremiah 2, and verse 1 through verse 3. Now remember, Paul already told us was a difference. He said, glory and honor to the Jew first.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that show preference? Well, it showed a difference then, didn't it? Go ahead. Brother, Jeremiah chapter 2, and read verse 1 through verse 3.
Moreover, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, I remember you, the kindness of your youth, the love of your espousals, when you went after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Israel was holiness unto Yahweh, and the first fruit of his increase.
And the first fruits of his increase, right? Go ahead, brother.
All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith Yahweh.
Okay. Now, that was under the old order of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's go and pick up in the new order of things in Revelation 14.
Amen.
You Christians love to use that verse to justify that. So you're not under law and then he doesn't make a difference.
Brother, they use that with folks that ain't got no knowledge. Because they come to me with that junk, brother. I said, well, let's go read this. I guess you could tear that out the book. Well, let's go read this. Let's tear that out the book, too. And when you get through, he ain't going to have number 2 or 3 pages in his hand. I know what to do with that, brother. Yahweh said, my word's going out of my mouth, and it will not return to me empty. It's going to accomplish all that I sent it for. Okay, now, Israel, our fathers, was the first fruits of his increase, right? He said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, right? Paul said, glory and honor to the Jew first, right? He chose our people first. Now, let's go to Revelation 14 and see what's going to happen after the Messiah comes. Revelation 14, read verse 1 through verse 5, brother.
And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the 4 beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins.
In other words, these are they which haven't been defiled with these other religions, and they've been true to the cause since they received their baptism, that new birth, right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, brother.
These are they which follow the Lamb wherever he goeth.
Now, people say, we're going to be with the Lord forever, right? It said, these are they which follow the Lamb whichever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Elohim and the Lamb, right? Being the first fruits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Elohim, right? Okay, back up to Revelation 7. Now, right after the 6th seal was opened and Satan was kicked out of heaven, Revelation 12 tells us when the dragon was cast out, he went to make war with the remnant of the woman's seed that brought forth the man-child that was going to rule all nations. Mm-hmm. And to the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the place in the wilderness where she is protected from the face of the serpent for 3.5 years, the great tribulation period, right? Now let's go back in Revelation 7 and pick that up at verse 1.
And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Elohim. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, and nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads.
Till we seal all of God's servants in their foreheads, right? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, brother.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Cut. Right. That's who his servants are. See? Israel was given the covenants, the promise, the service, the giving of the law, everything Paul told them. Israel was given everything of God to do. Israel wrote the book. Israel took the word, preserved the book. Israel took the words to the people, right? But yet still, the people put Israel in captivity, and they tell me, say, well, we are the sons of God. According to the, now listen to this now. It said Israel was the first fruits of his increase, right? When the Messiah came, he said, I'm not sent but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? Paul said, growing honor to the Jew first, right? According to the law, the firstborn son must receive a double portion of the father's gift. That's according to God's law, a double portion. Therefore, the first fruits of salvation will receive eternal life as well as the creation as their inheritance. As the scripture says, Israel is going to blossom and bud and fill the face of the whole world with fruit. As you grow, I'm going to take other people's lands and give it to you. Isaiah 26, and let's pick that up at verse 1. Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 1. See, this is the reason why they don't want me to come in them whorehouses. This is the reason why they don't want me in there. So you know what? I don't go. I say, seeing that you put the word from you, lo, I'm going to turn to some other people. Yeah, you got to come up in there. Yeah, I know, my brother. They're going to raise all kind of sand, too. I know it. Yeah, I converse with these young brothers. And I see what they getting ready to get off into, brother. Brother Slow-Mo and Brother Ariel and that brother right there, Thaddeus and little Gideon and all them young brothers. I converse with them brothers, and I see what they're getting ready to get off into. Yeah. And I'm going to push them just as hard as I can. You go for it, bro. Yeah. Isaiah 26, and pick that up, my brother, at verse 21.
For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. Chapter 27. In that day Yahweh with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea.
He's going to slay all the nations that's in the sea, right? The earth sits in the seas, right? Go ahead, brother.
In that day sing ye unto her a vineyard of red wine. I, Yahweh, do keep it. I will water it every moment, lest any hurt it, I will keep it night and day. Fury is not in me. Who will set the briars and thorns against me in battle? I will go through them, I will burn them together. Or let him take hold of my strength, that he may make peace with me, and he shall make peace with me.
Leviathan is going to make peace with me. Go ahead, brother. Peace. White folks talk about peace. They don't want no peace.
Right.
They never had no peace.
Right.
What do you know about peace? Like Jehu told them kings, man, the king come out and tell me, is the peace, Jehu? Say, what do you know about peace?
Right.
You follow him behind me, buddy. Another one came out and say, is it peace, Jehu? So what do you know about peace? Right. Then he got up to the wall and say, is it peace? The king say, is it peace, Jehu? He said, not as long as your horse mama is doing the thing she doing. No, Jack, ain't no peace. He went to war, didn't he? Right, and carried out Yahweh's will, didn't he? Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 6. He shall cause them that come of Jacob to take root. Israel shall blossom and bud, and fill the face of the whole of the world with fruit. Hath he smitten him as he smote those that smote him? Or is he slain according to the slaughter of them that are slain by him? In measure, when it shooteth forth, thou wilt debate with it. He stayed in rough wind in the day of the east wind. By this, therefore, shall the iniquity of Jacob be purged, and this is all the fruit to take away his sins. When he maketh all the stones of the altar as chalk stones that are beaten asunder, the groves and images shall not stand up. Yet the defenced cities shall be desolate, and the habitation forsaken, and left like a wilderness. There shall the calf feed, and there shall he lie down, and consume the branches thereof. When the boughs thereof are withered, they shall be broken off. The women come and set them on fire. but it is a people of no understanding. Therefore he that made them will not have mercy on them, and he that formed them will show them no favor. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall beat off from the channel of the river into the stream of Egypt, and you shall be gathered one by one, O you children of Israel.
You're going to be gathered one by one, O you children of Israel. Ain't said nothing about no nations, did he? Go ahead, brother.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the great trumpet shall be blown, and they shall come which were ready to perish in the land of Assyria, and the outcasts in the land of Egypt, and shall worship Yahweh in the holy mount at Jerusalem.
Okay, my brother. Okay, now I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's go back in here in Revelation 17 again, and let's pick up the inheritance of the nation. Revelation 14 rather. Revelation 7.
Revelation 7.
Yeah, man. I don't know where I'm getting all these. I got so many things I want to cover, and it's all jumping up, and some things I don't want to do. Revelation, I got to do what I wrote down, because a lot of things I can't do, and I get caught off into some other junk. And somebody be asking me something about something that don't even make no sense. Revelation 7, and we know that great multitude was sealed. That Israel was sealed, that 144,000, which followed the Lamb whithersoever he went, right? Okay, now let's read about that great multitude that's going to be saved. Revelation 7 and verse 9. Then we're going to go see what their blessings are going to be. Revelation 7 and verse 9.
Verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
Now they was on earth now. Let's understand it. They wasn't in heaven now. Go ahead, brother.
And cried with a loud voice, saying, Salvation to our Elohim, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
And all the angels stood around about the throne, and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell before the throne on their faces, and worshipped Elohim, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our Elohim forever and ever. Amen.
Now, I let you know that these people wasn't in heaven in verse 11 and verse 12. It said, and all the angels stood around about the throne and about the elders and the four beasts, and fell upon the throne on their faces and worshiped Elohim. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they?
One of the 24 elders asked John, say, what are these? Now, I know about Israel, but what are these that are arrayed in white robes, and where did they come from? Go ahead, brother.
And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest.
He said, you know, you tell me. Go ahead, brother.
And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation.
Now, wait a minute now. Christians say they're going to miss all of this. This right here say these are they who came out of the great tribulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is when the European that's going to be saved is going to really hear the word, is during the great tribulation period. Go ahead, brother.
And have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb.
They came under the blood of the Messiah during the great tribulation period, right? Go ahead, brother.
Therefore are they before the throne of Elohim, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them.
And he that sitteth upon the throne shall dwell among them. The temple is going to be built in Jerusalem, and by right that all the nations will have access to the temple, right? Not the sanctuary now, but to the temple. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 16. They shall hunger no more.
They shall hunger no more. Now,
Neither-
if they was in heaven around the throne, they shouldn't be hungry no way, should they? But see, it said, they shall hunger no more, neither thirst any more, neither shall the sun light upon them or any heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and shall lead them to fountains of living water, and Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes during the millennial period. Glory and honor to the Jew first. Now let's go and pick this up and see the salvation, what these nations are going to be. Let's go to Isaiah 14 in verse 1 through verse 4. See, that's one thing I like about my Creator. You don't have to wonder about nothing.
Right.
Folks talking about, we equal with y'all. No, you ain't. If you equal with us, why ain't you in slavery?
Come on now. They want all the blessings. They don't want none of the suffering.
No, sir, brother. They don't want none of that. They want to rule. Oh, yes, we rule these niggas. God gave us these niggas to rule. Yeah, somebody come buy this nigga here. I'd buy him, but I got a dog.
Is that a dog or a daughter?
Isaiah, what's the difference? Isaiah 14, verse 1 through verse 4.
For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house
They
of Jacob.
gonna cleave to the house of Jacob. You know why? They said, we know God with you. We gonna cleave. We gonna hang with you, buddy. Yeah, go ahead.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give you rest from your sorrow, and from your fear, and from the hard bondage wherein you were made to serve, that you shall take up this proverb against the King of America, and say, how have the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Okay, my brother. Now let's go into Isaiah chapter 49 and read verse 1 through verse 26. Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 1 through verse 26. See, all you got to do is read this book.
Right.
You always say, I don't do nothing until I tell my servants, the prophets, first.
Amen.
But folks don't want to hear this. See? That's why they tell you in them churches, stay out of that Old Testament, child. We ain't living in that Old Testament. All the covenants is in the Old Testament. Ain't no covenants in the New Testament. Go ahead and read, brother.
Isaiah chapter 49, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, you people from far. Yahweh hath called me from the womb. From the bowels of my mother hath he made mention of my name. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hands hath he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver hath he hid me, and said unto me, you are my servant, O Israel, in whom I will be glorified.
You are my servant, O Israel, right? He said, sacrifice and offering you didn't desire, but a body you have prepared me. For what reason? For the spirit of Israel to come dwell in that body. Go ahead and read, brother.
Then I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength for naught and in vain. Yet surely my judgment is with Yahweh, and my work with my Elohim.
I done labored in vain. Look at what these niggas doing. There's not one righteous. No, not one. Go ahead, brother.
And now says Yahweh that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him.
To do what? To bring Jacob again to him. Right. That's why he was formed for a servant, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of Yahweh, and my Elohim shall be my strength. And he said, it is a light thing that you should be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give you for a light to the Europeans, that you may be my salvation unto the end of the earth.
He said in verse 6, and he said, it is a light thing that you should be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. Then I'm going to give you a light. He's in Psalms 2. He said, ask me, and I'll give you the nations for your inheritance, right? So he asked, and it said, I will also give you for a light to the Gentiles, that you may be my salvation to the ends of the earth. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 7. Thus saith Yahweh, the Redeemer of Israel, and his Holy One, to him whom man despiseth, to him whom the nation abhorreth, to his servant of rulers, kings shall see and arise. Princes also shall worship, because of Yahweh that is faithful, and the Holy One of Israel, and he shall choose you.
Mm-hmm.
Thus saith Yahweh, in an acceptable time have I heard you. and in a day of salvation have I helped you. And I will preserve you and give you for a covenant of the people to establish the earth, to cause to inherit the desolate heritages, that you may say to the prisoners, go forth. To them that are in darkness, show yourselves. They shall feed in the... Okay.
Read that verse for me again, brother.
All right. Verse 9. That you may say to the prisoners, go forth.
Open up the jails, right?
To them that are in darkness.
All them brothers that went out in the woods and hid themselves getting out of these cities, you're going to say, show yourself. Go ahead, brother.
They shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places.
Amen.
They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor sun smite them, for he that hath mercy on them shall lead them. Even by the springs of water shall he guide.
And they're going to come towards Zion, growing and weeping as they go, saying, show me the way to Zion. He said, I'm going to lead them in a straight path by the way they knew not. Go ahead, brother.
And I will make all my mountains a way, and my highways shall be exalted. Behold, these come from far, and lo, these come from the north and from the west, and these come from the land of Asia. Sing, O heavens, and be joyful, O earth, and break forth into singing, O mountains. For Yahweh hath comforted his people, and will have mercy upon his afflicted. But Yehuda said, Yahweh hath forsaken me, and my Adonai hath forgotten me. Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget you.
Praise Yah.
Behold, I have graven you upon the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me. Your children shall make haste, your destroyers, and they that made you wait shall go forth of you. Lift up your eyes round about, and behold, all these gather themselves together, and come to you. As I live, says Yahweh, you shall surely clothe you with them all, as with an ornament, and bind them on you as a bride does. For your waste and your desolate places, and the land of your destruction shall even now be too narrow by reason of the inhabitants, and they that swallow you up shall be far away. And the children which thou shalt have after you have lost the others shall say again in your ears, the place is too straight for me. Give place to me that I may dwell.
Right, and I'm going to take other folks' land. This place is going to be too straight. You're going to have land, and we're going to already be in the land from the river Nile to the great Euphrates. I'm going to take other folks' land and give it to you. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 21. Then shall you say in your heart, who hath begotten me these, seeing I have lost my children, and am desolate, a captive, and removing to and fro? And who have brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These, where had they been? Thus said Yahweh Elohim, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Europeans, and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring your sons in their arms, and your daughters shall be carried away upon their shoulders.
Right here, take your people. Take your people so we can have some peace in our land. Get your here. Right. Go ahead, brother.
And kings shall be your nursing
And
fathers.
their kings shall be your nursing fathers, and their queens your nursing mothers. They shall bow down to you with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of your feet. For you shall know that I am Yahweh. For they should not be ashamed to wait on me.
Amen.
Go ahead and read, brother. That's what's going to happen to them. They're going to be servants. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, or the lawful captive delivered? But thus saith Yahweh, even the captives of the mighty shall be taken away, and the prey of the terrible shall be delivered. For I will contend with him that contended with you, and I will save your children. And I will feed them that oppress you with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood, as with sweet wine. And all flesh shall know that I, Yahweh, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Yaakov.
Okay, my brother, that's far enough. Chapter 54 and verse 1 through verse 5.
Isaiah chapter 54, verse 1. Sing, O barren, that thou that did not bear. Bring forth into singing and cry aloud. You that did not travail with child, for more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, says Yahweh.
That's the remnant, right? Go ahead, brother.
Enlarge the place of your tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of your habitation. Spare not, lengthen your cords, and lengthen your stakes. For you shall break forth on the right hand and on the left, and your seed shall inherit the Europeans, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Fear not, for you shall not be ashamed, neither be you confounded. For you shall not be put to shame, for you shall forget the shame of your youth, and shall not remember the reproach of your widowhood anymore. For your Maker is your husband. Yahweh of hosts is his name, and your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The Elohim of the whole earth shall he be called.
Okay, my brother. So it said your seed is going to inherit the Gentiles, right? Okay, chapter 61, and pick that up, brother, verse 1 through verse 9. Isaiah chapter 61, and verse 1 through verse 9.
The Spirit of Yahweh Elohim is upon me, because Yahweh hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our Elohim, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Yehudah, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he may be glorified. And they shall build the old waste, they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities, the desolations of many generations. And strangers shall stand and feed your flock, and the sons of the aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine
The
dressers.
people that's going to be saved, right? That great multitude, see? He shall wash away the tears from their eyes if they do in righteousness the things that they're supposed to do in their kingdom. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6. But you shall be named the priests of Yahweh. Men shall call you the ministers of our Elohim. You shall eat the riches of the Europeans, and in their glory shall you boast yourself.
In their power, you're going to boast. You're going to eat their riches, and in their power, you're going to boast yourself. You know why? You're going to control it all. That's why I tell them, y'all go ahead and build all this fine stuff. Get all this high technology, man, all these computers, get all that technology. I'm not good. You know why? We're going to inherit it, and we're going to know what to do with it. Yes, sir. To the glory of our Creator, and not man. Man looking for his own glory. Man want to walk around and say, hey, look at me. Look at me. Right. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 7. For your shame you shall have double, and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion.
Right. They done been confused, and because they got all this glory here now, they're going to be saved. They're going to rejoice in the portion of being your servant. Go ahead, brother.
Therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be unto them. For I, Yahweh, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offerings, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them. And their seed shall be known among the Europeans, and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which Yahweh hath blessed.
Amen. Chapter 66, and pick that up at verse 5, brother.
Hear the word of Yahweh, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let Yahweh be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
Right. Esau say, these two lands, they're given in our possession, whereas the Lord was there. Get rid of these people. When the Romans came into the city, Esau was even one of them to help. And each one of the people, each one of the empires that came into our city, Esau was there to help them. Go ahead and read, but that's why they gave them the rulership each time. I gave them so much rulership. Go ahead and read, brother.
Verse 6. a voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of Yahweh that renders recompense to his enemies. Before she travailed, she brought forth.
Before she travailed, before she went into labor, she brought forth, right? Go ahead, brother.
Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man-child. Who have heard of such a thing? Who have seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day, or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Yehuda travailed, she brought forth her children.
As soon as Judah went into trouble, she did what? Brought forth her children, did she?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Shall I bring to the birth and not cause to bring forth, saith Yahweh? Shall I cause to bring forth and shut the womb, saith your Elohim? Rejoice ye with Jerusalem and be glad with her, all you that love her. Rejoice for joy with her, all ye that mourn for her, that you may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolation, that you may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Europeans like a flowing stream. Then shall you suck, you shall be borne upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees.
Right, because all of the nations are going to come up bringing their glory, their wealth into the city of Israel, into the city of Jerusalem. Go ahead, brother.
As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And when you see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb. And the hand of Yahweh shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree, in the midst eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith Yahweh. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pul, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, and to the isles afar off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Europeans.
See, every eye on the earth ain't going to see the Messiah when he returns. Just the people that's going to be around that holy city. They're going to see him when he returns. This is why Judah is going to have, the people is going to go to the other nations to declare his glory, because people haven't heard of it. All they know is their army's been destroyed. And they wonder what's going on, because the earth is almost totally destroyed. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 20. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto Yahweh out of all nations upon horses, and in chariots, and in litters, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith Yahweh, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of Yahweh. And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith Yahweh. For as the new heavens and the new earth which I will make shall remain before me, saith Yahweh, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Yahweh.
Okay, my brother, I don't want to go no further than that. Now let's go into Jeremiah chapter 33 and pick that up at verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 33 and verse 6.
Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 6. Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth.
Amen.
And I will cause the captivity of Yehuda and the captivity of Israel to return, and will build them as at the first. And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity, whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned and whereby they have transgressed against me.
Amen.
And it shall be to me a name of joy, a praise and an honor before all nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them. And they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure unto it. Thus saith Yahweh, again shall be heard in this place, which ye say shall be desolate without man and without beast, even in the cities of Yehudah and in the streets of Jerusalem, that are desolate without man, without inhabitant, and without beast, the voice of joy and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, the voice of them that shall say, praise Yahweh of hosts, for Yahweh is good, for his mercy endureth forever. And of them that shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of Yahweh, for I will cause to return the captivity of the land, as at the first saith Yahweh.
Praise Yah.
Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, again in this place, which is desolate, without man and without beast, and in all the cities thereof shall be an habitation of shepherds, causing their flocks to lie down. In the cities of the mountains, and in the cities of the vale, and in the cities of the south, and in the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Yehudah shall the flocks pass again under the hands of him that telleth them, saith Yahweh. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will perform that good thing which I promised unto the house of Israel and to the house of Yehudah.
Praise Yah.
In those days and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days shall Yehudah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this is the name wherewith she shall be called, Yahweh our righteousness.
Amen.
For thus saith Yahweh, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel, neither shall the priests and Levites want a man before me to offer burnt offerings, and to kindle meat offerings, and to do sacrifice continually. And the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, if you can break my covenant of the day, and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their seasons, then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, and with the Levites the priests my ministers. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah, saying, Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, The two families which Yahweh hath chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before me. Thus saith Yahweh, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return and have mercy on them.
All right. Paul told them they seeds of Abraham and heirs according to the promise, right? The promise is that the house of Israel is going to be rulers over y'all. Amos chapter 9, and pick that up at verse 11. Amos chapter 9 and verse 11. And I got one more piece of scripture I think, and I get out all your hair. Let's say. Amos chapter 9 and verse 11. Where's Amos, man? Behind Joel, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Amos chapter 9, and pick that up at verse 11.
11. Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh that doeth
Now, the heathen say they're spiritual Israel, right? So he said that you're going to rule over all those people that are called by his name, right? So we can very well see there truly is a difference between in sons. Like I said before, an adopted son never received the blessings of the firstborn. The firstborn must receive a double portion, and that double portion will be eternal life for the children of Israel, plus the rulership of this whole earth, which is given to us as an inheritance. But then, who's sufficient of these things? Without the true and living God, then truly, we all shall die and go to hell, and then wake up to be cast into that lake of fire. So let us all find the time to always give thanks to the God of Israel that he's chosen us to do these things, that we might be saved. Because when you look at us as a people, it's the only hope we have.
Amen.
Without this, we shall be like Sodom and be made like unto Gomorrah. But then, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the church and Holy Convention. That's about all I'm going to do today. And may Yahweh have mercy upon us all. Do we have any announcement?